Yeah, thanks everyone for coming to my talk today. As mentioned by the moderators, I'm Julian. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Ribbon, which is the first and largest structured products protocol in DeFi. And we work a lot with like crypto options, and I think we have a pretty good sense of where we think the industry is going. So today my presentation will be about how do we level up DeFi options and how do we basically make this a much more popular product that people use. So for a bit of context, I mean, we're all in a bear market now, so I think people are feeling like crypto markets have sort of dried up. But interestingly, crypto options are still like growing very, very fast. So for example, currently the open interest for ETH options are like at their all-time high, which is like kind of crazy to think about because compared to ETH futures, which is like the bread and butter of crypto trading, that is down more than 50% from the all-time high. So ETH options relatively are just growing much faster than the whole market. And we can even see more clues of why we think this industry is growing so quickly. For example, a lot of the top 5 exchanges in the world are launching new types of options offerings. So Bybit, OKEX, a bunch of these exchanges. And every single trading firm, if you speak to them, they would have set up like an options trading desk or if they hadn't yet in the last 12 months. So we think everyone is sort of gearing up for this explosion in crypto options. And yeah, I think it will be a very big trend in the next 12 to 24 months. However, we think although there is a lot of growth in all these options products, we think this hasn't really reflected the same in the DeFi world. So for example, the first DeFi options protocols came out in 2020. But to be honest, like they really didn't get the same product market fit or the same scale as some of these like centralized options exchanges. So I think in the year of 2020, like the first year of options in DeFi, like the total TVL of the whole category was less than $10 million. And the cumulative trading volume of like all the options protocols combined was less than 100 mil. So that is like really a drop in the bucket for any of these derivatives. But I think that really changed last year when Ribbon basically figured out like a way to package these like options contracts into these type of retail vault structures that DeFi users like are very familiar with. So this is now what is known as a DOV, which is like a DeFi option vault, which really takes all these options contracts, packages it into like a DeFi yield product, and lets retail users use it. So over the last year, after we launched, I think there's been like a crazy growth in DeFi options. So in the last 1.5 years, we have done over $10 billion of notional, which is quite a lot. And the total TVL of like the options space in DeFi has basically gone from like 10 million to 500 plus. So really, I think a lot of growth has just come from these DOVs. And in 2021, more than 90+% of all like the on-chain options volume came from these vaults. We think that that's going to continue, and we think that's like one of the biggest drivers of option growth in DeFi. However, although these DOVs are like really nice and they really solve this like product market fit thing for DeFi, we think they are not like the terminal state for what options will look like. So today, these DOVs let users sell options once a week to generate some sort of yield. But this is like really restrictive, really rigid. If you're like a pro trader, you want to control your positions. You don't want to let like an automated strategy do something for you. So yeah, I think these vaults are like amazing for retail users, but no serious trader or pro user wants to use these DOVs on like any meaningful scale. So yeah, I think overall DOVs are too simple and inflexible for the serious trader. So today we are very excited to introduce our new product, which is called Avo, which is a next generation options exchange. And we think this is going to be the killer product of DeFi options, and this is going to be like the best place in crypto to trade crypto options. So a little bit of context about what it is. This is, as I mentioned, like a high performance order book based exchange. we think all these teams have tried like AMM, option AMMs, all these pool style models, but none of them really work very well. So we think to attract the real institutional money, like the Genesises of the world and like the biggest trading shops, you actually need to build like an order book. So we've been working on this for the last 6 months, and we built a whole order book based options exchange from the ground up. So as you can expect, for us to attract sort of professional traders, we need to have like a really, really robust margining system. Most of DeFi is like over collateralized, and that's like completely unacceptable for like pro traders. So we built like a whole new margin system from the ground up. It includes features like portfolio margin. We offer daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly options, which sort of gives users the choice in what they want to trade. So this definitely feels much more like a pro exchange. And finally, for us to achieve all these goals, we had to build it on like a custom rollup, which was really designed for scale. So we really sort of built the whole stack from the ground up, even like at the chain level. We think that, as I mentioned before, the goal that we're trying to go after is becoming the #1 venue to trade options on chain. So we think the 3 big points that we are going to have on day 1 is we're going to have sort of over 100 different instruments for users to start trading. We're going to have the deepest liquidity of any options platform on chain. We have partnered with a lot of big trading firms to sort of make sure that happens. And we think we're going to also offer instant onboarding, which means you can bring on USDC from any EVM chain and start trading immediately. So we think the combination of these 3 factors really creates a killer experience for trading options on chain. Finally, which is what we think is like our unfair advantage and why we want to do this, is because right now, as I mentioned before, ribbon DOVs sort of drive most of the on-chain options volumes. And what that really means is like we control the flow of who trades options on chain. And what we are going to do here is we are really going to integrate these vaults with an exchange and channel all this flow back into our own exchange. So that's how we think we can really basically bootstrap this marketplace and get people trading. We already have all these flow from these vaults, and we just sort of funnel it back to our own exchange. And we hope that if we build like a good enough liquidity mode in the next few years or in the next 12 months, we think it'll be very, very compelling for other DOVs, like all our competitors. We think it'll be very possible that they want to build on us because we have the best liquidity. So that is what we've been working on for the last 6 months. We think this is going to be like the killer app of crypto options. So yeah, if you guys are interested in following the progress, go to avo.xyz, which is our website, our landing page, and we'll be posting more updates there. We'll be opening this by the end of the year, and we are doing like a private mainnet launch in October. So follow us on Twitter, meet me afterwards if you're interested in using the platform, or if you're a trading firm who wants to get plugged in, we'll be around. Thank you very much.